Welcome to the Tech Playbook, where we dive inside the stack. Today, we're going to build a playbook for one of the most stressful moments in tech. I'm talking about troubleshooting a critical failure. In this explainer, we'll cover the mental models that keep you calm, the detective work you need to do to find the real problem, and of course, the smart way to call for backup. So picture this. You've got red alerts flashing everywhere, messages are pouring in, and the one system that absolutely positively cannot go down, well, it just went down. What do you do in that exact moment? Look, if your first instinct is to just panic, you are not alone. The default reaction for a lot of us is to start guessing, flipping switches, and just hoping for the best. But here's the thing. Pros don't guess. They have a plan. And that's exactly the plan we're building today. And it comes in 3 parts. First, we're going to get our mindset right. Second, we'll learn some crucial investigation techniques. And third, we'll figure out exactly when and how to call for help. All right, let's start with the most important tool you have, your brain. Our brains are kind of wired for fight or flight, so when those alarms go off, our first instinct is just chaos. To override that, you need a framework for thinking about the problem. And this is where mental models come in. The whole key to a good mental model is simplification. It isn't a perfect one-to-one replica of reality. Think of it more like a useful map. It's designed to help you cut through all that noise, focus on what's really important, and make better, faster decisions when you're under pressure. So our first mental model is a total classic, Occam's razor. All it really says is that the simplest explanation is usually the right one. So before you start dreaming up some complex, multi-system cascading failure, just ask yourself, could it be something simple? Like, did someone unplug a cable? Was there a recent configuration change? You gotta start there. Our second model is what's called first principles thinking. Now, instead of relying on assumptions or just how we've always done it, you break the problem down to its most fundamental parts. You have to ask, what do I know for sure is true right now? This forces you to rebuild your understanding from the ground up, and that often reveals a solution you would have totally missed otherwise. Okay, so once you've got your thinking straight, it's time to put on your detective hat. The goal here isn't just a quick fix, it's to hunt for the real root cause. You see, the whole goal of root cause analysis, or RCA, is to prevent the problem from ever happening again. Fixing the symptom is like bailing water out of a leaky boat. Yeah, it helps for a minute, but RCA is about finding and plugging the hole. It means looking past the immediate fire to find the faulty wiring that started in the first place. A fantastic tool for this is the 5 whys. It's such a simple but powerful technique where you just keep asking why to drill down past the surface level symptoms. In this classic example, the problem isn't just a dead battery, right? By asking why 5 times, we find out the real root cause is actually a failure in the maintenance process. Now that's a much deeper, more important fix. Now, for more complex problems, a fishbone diagram is a brilliant visual tool. You put the problem at the head of the fish, and then you brainstorm all the potential causes along the bones, grouping them into categories like equipment, people, policies, and environment. This really helps make sure you're not missing any angles in your investigation. And this brings us to our third act. A critical part of being a pro is knowing your own limits. You can't solve everything alone. The real skill is knowing how to get the right help at the right time. And that's why having a clear, documented escalation path is an absolute must-have. It's not about passing the buck. It's a strategic handoff to bring in specialized knowledge or somebody with decision-making authority. This whole process eliminates confusion and can dramatically speed up the resolution time. The most common way this is structured is the tiered support model. So you've got Tier 1 handling the routine, frequent stuff. If they can't solve it, they escalate it up to the more advanced Tier 2. And for the really complex, deep-seated problems, it goes to the Tier 3 experts. And these are often the developers who actually built the system. Each tier has a very specific focus. And within that model, there are really 2 types of escalation. Functional escalation is all about skill. You're passing the problem to a team with the right expertise, like a database team or a network team. Then there's hierarchical escalation, which is about authority. That's when you move the issue up the management chain because a major business decision or more resources are needed. So there you have it, your new playbook for tackling pretty much any tech problem. First, adopt the right mindset with mental models like Occam's razor and first principles. Second, investigate systematically with root cause analysis tools like the 5 whys. And third, know when and how to escalate with a clear, defined plan. At the end of the day, this framework gives you structure right in the middle of chaos, turning that panic into a methodical, effective plan. So the only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first? Thanks for tuning into this episode, brought to you by the Tech Playbook Inside the Stack. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more clear and practical technical education. This is the Tech Playbook, and you're inside the stack.